Growing up, my mom had this white stick shift pickup truck that she had Southern Pride in gigantic letters going across the front windshield. I remember feeling so embarrassed and so much shame riding around in her truck because growing up in the South, I grew up surrounded by racism and the judgment and hatred that can often be found within the religion of Christianity. I even grew up within a really Christian family where the Christian patriarchy enabled narcissistic abuse within the family. I had a grandfather that would beat us with a leather belt. My grandmother would use our grandfather's anger and the belt as a fear tactic to get us to obey. We weren't really allowed to voice our opinions or talk about how we felt about anything. We weren't supposed to question the authority of the patriarch within our family. And it caused a lot of deep-seated, deeply rooted trauma within me. And I just grew up extremely ashamed that I came from the South. I didn't like my accent either. I tried to hide it for the longest time. But as I have gotten older, the sense of shame and guilt that I felt for being a Southerner has now shifted into a sense of pride. And that's why I'm recording this video. I wanted to talk a little bit about what Southern pride means to me because it is vastly different from what many Southerners promote as Southern heritage, flaunting the Confederate flag and talking about the Confederacy rising again, advocating for statues, promoting people of history that caused a lot of pain and suffering to be first and foremost, claiming that it's erasing history just to not be honoring these people for what they did and contributed to the world. I have a completely different perspective on what Southern pride is and what Southern heritage means. I also have family that fought for the Confederacy. My family has roots here in Tennessee going back to the late 1700s. So we have been here for quite a long time. We even have a family cemetery up in Eagleville, Tennessee. But I do not hold the ideals that holding onto my heritage or claiming Southern pride is about having pride within the Confederacy and what they fought for. To me, Southern pride and honoring my heritage is about redefining what it means to be a Southerner. As times progress and we become more empathetic and understanding within our humanity, and we start to realize that we're all brothers and sisters living upon this planet, there is no room for hatred in a society that is sustainable, a society that is able to evolve, because hatred breeds more hatred within the world. Two wrongs do not make a right. It just takes us in this circle, the Ouroboros, the snake that eats itself. To me, Southern pride is about learning how to recognize generational trauma and try to find ways to correct it. It means breaking through the barriers of generational trauma, such as slavery and the religious trauma that takes place down here in the Bible Belt with indoctrination and the Christian patriarchy, the hatred that is given for people of other faiths, people of other belief systems, people with different lifestyles. If someone is living a life that's not for you, Cool. You don't have any say over that person's life, though. And you want to complain about how people hate you for your faith, but you literally use your faith to try to control other people's lives. And that's just not how it should be. Having pride for being a Southerner and honoring my heritage, to me, is about learning how to do the things that my ancestors could not do. Breaking through the generational trauma that has caused all of the chaos that we are experiencing within the world and this country right now. It's about working towards healing and unity within my humanity. I personally do not believe that my ancestors would be proud of me for continuing on a circle of pain and abuse, lies, manipulation. I personally feel when our loved ones leave this physical realm, they see the truth of our divinity, how united we are, how similar we are, how we're all one. And this idea of being separate from each other, or some of us being better than others because we come from different areas, or we have different skin colors, or different sexualities, nationalities, beliefs. It's all just this great big illusion because we have more in common than we think we do. We're meant to coexist here. And to me, being proud of where I come from means breaking down those barriers and working towards a greater future, not living in the past. It's about working on healing and growing within the present so the future can be better than the past. Not tightly hanging on to times where people were abused and mistreated, taken advantage of. We have so much more knowledge and understanding, but the reason why history continues to repeat itself is because we refuse to learn from it. The Ouroboros, the snake that eats its tail, we are consuming ourselves, and we justify it by claiming heritage. Here in a couple of days, well, it'll probably be tomorrow by the time I post this video, because I'm probably going to post this video tomorrow on Monday. I don't know. It's currently Sunday and it's getting kind of late in the day. But I had an experience today that really lined up with some of what I'm talking about here when I'm talking about like my Christian upbringing and Southern heritage being about breaking through these barriers and harmful programming that was placed into me. Today, I felt guided by my spirit to attend my neighbor's church for one last time. I didn't really want to go, but I knew that I needed to go. Something inside of me just told me I needed to go. For some of you, you would probably call it the voice of God speaking to you. But I understand that Christ, God, and I, we're all one and the same because the kingdom is within. The light is within. I did not have a pleasant experience the last time that I went to this church. And then I went to a cookout, which just kind of confirmed why I had an off feeling at this church. So I had never planned on going back again. But then something inside of me last night after my neighbor invited me again was like, you need to go. Today I went, and everything that I had been feeling from that pastor was confirmed for me today. I experienced grifting the entire time I was there. I experienced him preaching one thing but contradicting himself multiple times throughout the entire sermon. I took pages upon pages of notes documenting what I was listening to and my thoughts involving all of it. And I want to go through and provide a podcast episode about it here in a couple of days. I wanted to record it today, but I had a lot of energy flowing through me. I wanted to really sit down and gather my thoughts before I record the episode. So I'm just posting this quick little video talking about what Southern pride means to me and how it means breaking down these barriers of generational trauma. And what I experienced in that church today just really showed me how much I have evolved on a spiritual level. And I'm not saying that I'm any better than any person inside of that church, because I am not. I have also been a lost soul looking for guidance throughout various stages of my life. It's just at this point in time, I understand who I am. I am comfortable and confident within my energy. And I see through the bullshit. I guess I'm just going to leave it there. I see through the bullshit. I want to share with you what I experienced, what I perceived, the thoughts that were going through my head, and why it is so important for you to use discernment and learn how to feel energies. Because energy does not lie, but people do. And I experienced a lot of ego in that church today. I told a woman before I left that asked me if I enjoyed the sermon and I would be back. I told her I didn't enjoy it and I most definitely will not be back. I told her why. I kind of went off on a tangent on her. And one of the last things I said to her was, Jesus Christ, the man that they worship, Yeshua, taught us that the light is within you. I am here to be a light in this world, and part of being a light means shining light onto darkness. Things that other people may not be capable of seeing, or maybe they just don't want to see it, because we are living in very dark times where people are vulnerable and they're really just looking for some kind of community to be a part of. Because we live in times where people are feeling more alone now than ever. And this vulnerability leaves people open for predation. There are predators out there. There are wolves in sheep's clothing. And I just want to help other people learn how to recognize it. I'm not asking you to blindly follow me or to blindly trust me. I am a human being too. I make mistakes. I sometimes live outside of integrity. I'm trying to improve on that. I want you to learn how to listen to yourself. I want you to learn how to have discernment and learn how to trust yourself above trusting other people. Trusting others is important, but you're not going to know who is worthy of your trust if you do not know how to trust yourself first. So, I am going to share what I experienced in my next podcast episode. It's not what I had planned, but hey, we're rolling with it when inspiration hits, right? And if people want to come for me and tell me I'm just talking shit or that I'm just judgmental, whatever it is people say, they might even call me a demon, because let's face it, the preacher was talking about how he exorcised demons with this woman that was arguing with him. So be it. Because Yeshua also criticized the church and the authorities telling people how to worship and what was God. He flipped tables when he saw greed happening within these churches, and they hated him too. They murdered him. They crucified him. And then they propped him up as an idol to be worshiped, to manipulate vulnerable people into giving away their personal power. I'm not going to stand for it. So, if you would like to hear my story, please stick around. I will get it out here in the next couple of days, probably on Tuesday, because I'm trying to get better about keeping to a set schedule. I'm kind of a chaotic person and not very structured, but I'm working on that because I am my own savior. If I want it to get done, I have to do it. And that goes for anybody else out there. If you want something out of your life, you have to go for it. No one's going to save you but you. You are your own Lord and Master. Choose to listen to the God within you, not the devil within you. Do things for the betterment of humanity and for the evolution of our consciousness. But I'll leave it there. This is a little bit longer than I anticipated it being. I hope you have an absolutely wonderful rest of your day, night, week, month, year, and life. This has been the Electric Honeypot Project. And remember to stay curious and question everything.